Hello, everybody. So, I'm a little heated, and I need you to stick with me just for a second. I need you to get a pen and paper because I'm gonna teach you how to make scones today. I saw a class that was trying to teach how to make gluten-free scones, $130 a person. That is unbelievably chaotic and unacceptable. So, grab a pen and paper, and we are going to make scones. Shit. We're gonna make scones today. Okay, hopefully you have your pen, paper, you're ready to write this down. First, we're gonna get our flour. 500 grams, goodness gracious, of flour. Gluten-free flour, all-purpose. I use this cup for cup. I really like it. I think it's really good, like very all-purpose, exactly what it's meant for. Not everyone is like that. But 500 grams, all-purpose flour. Boom. We are going to get, this is where my salt is. Pinch of salt, get in there, pinch it, bam. A little extra, it's fine. 25 grams of baking powder. Okay? Where's my whisk? Whisk it together. In your next bowl, 2 eggs, 80 grams of sugar. Now we're going to whisk these two together until they become combined and it is like a nice and pale color. I will show you when it's done, but get a little vigorous. Okay, got that combined. We're going to add in 250 grams of milk. I just use 2% because that's what we got here. Ain't that complicated. And give that a little whisk. Okay, you set your milk, egg, sugar mixture aside. Next step, we're going to add in some cold butter to our flour. You don't have to wear gloves. I like to. So break your butter into little pieces like such. I just cut it up, 80 grams. You're going to drop it in just all around, and then you're going to get folded in. I should have placed the camera differently. And then with your little fingers, now the cubes of butter they have flour on the surface. Now let's just, like we did in the puff pastry, just hit them like so, and repeat with all of the mixture until all of the butter pieces and the flour are combined, until it makes like a little sandy, coursey texture. And I will show you here whenever it is done. Okay, so check this out. A little bit of like a sandy texture to it. We've incorporated all the butter. They are in super tiny little pieces spread throughout, and it kind of, like I said, has like a little sandy look, feel, texture to it. So this is kind of the consistency that we're looking for before we add our wet ingredients. All right, so now we are going to fold in our wet ingredients to our dry ingredients. Now we're going to fold it in, and I'll show you like a little technique. It is literally just a fold so that you keep as much of the air as possible from the eggs, because this is what's going to help us rise in addition to the baking powder. Keep as much air as possible. This is pretty important, especially when it comes to gluten-free baking, because it's the absence of gluten, so they're not going to get as big of a rise as you typically would see when it comes to like a gluten scone. But we can do our best, and we can play with the cards that we're dealt. So fold in gently until it is incorporated. Should have got a better camera set up. Folding it in, folding it around. So just take your little spatula and go around the bowl, folding it in, folding it over. And then you can cut through the middle and do the same, start over. And we're doing this just until there are no dry clumps left over. And it's gonna form like a nice little ball of dough. Okay, so we got a little rolling mat, because we are going to set our ball of dough on here and just gently roll it out so we can fold it over a couple times so that we can make our scone shapes. So get yourself some extra flour and generously coat your rolling mat. Give a little to your hands also so that you can get in there and it doesn't stick to you either as much. Just want to dump it out here. Scrape your little spatula. Okay, now we are just going to gently use our hands, flatten it a little bit, and then just roll it over itself. Here, roll it over. That's what I'm talking about. And then we'll gently roll it out again. You get the picture. Here, we're gonna roll it over itself and then flatten it out. I'll get better with the camera next time. I was so mad I didn't even prepare well. So I'm just gonna roll it over a few times And then I'm going to grab a spatula, or not a spatula, a rolling pin, and we're going to roll it out to about 3 centimeter thickness. Use a ruler, that's the easiest way. So let me grab my rolling pin, and I'm gonna roll it out. Rolling pin acquired. Flour your rolling pin. Again, so it doesn't stick to your utensils. We're just gonna try and get it as even as possible. This is gonna make us 12 scones, so that's pretty cool. If you got 11 friends, everyone gets a scone, so that's fun. And then you can teach them how to do this and save everybody a collective like $1,430 doing. That's fast math, because 130 times 11, you know what I'm saying? You got it. Anyways, I'll pick it up, show you what we're looking for. Now I'm gonna cut some scone shapes. Oh, and one more thing, if you don't have like a scone cutter, which I don't, you can just use a knife and cut it, and we'll gently like shape it. I'll show you, because that's what I'm gonna do. I don't want to use that knife. Yeah, get yourself a knife, and we're just gonna press down. We're not gonna press down and like scoop or do anything crazy. You are just making your cut, pressing flat into it, lifting up. And again, we can make these more perfect if you like. However, I'm not too particular about scone shape and size. Like, it's a scone for me. I'm going to cut it open and put some butter in it, so it's all good. So like this one, for example, all goofy shaped. I'm just going to gently like encourage it to be in a more circular shape. And you see you still get like the nice little layers in there, so that's where it's going to rise from. But yeah, you don't want to do too much. You're just trying to be gentle and encourage it to be more of a circular shape if that's more your style. If you really don't care and you're like, cool, I'll eat it like this, eat it like this. Cool. But we're going to put these on our sheet pan and let them set for 20 minutes in the fridge, let them rest, and then we're just gonna pop them in the oven. Okay, scones out of the fridge. Look at these things. Pretty sick. All right, you're gonna get one egg. You're going to beat said egg. Now we're gonna use this to brush on top of the scones, and this is going to help give them a little bit of a crisp on the top. It's looking very nice. Now, if you don't have like a pastry brush, which you might not, one of these little guys, get creative. We're not like in a restaurant. We ain't Michelin star. Use some of this, and you can just like brush it on top with a fork. Probably spoon is a better if you're gonna do it like this. But you just want to keep it on the surface is basically the whole point, which is why a brush is helpful. Or you can use your fingers, they're for you. Get a gloved finger, wash your hands, make sure you're doing this cleanly so you're not nasty. But I do have a pastry brush, so I am going to use a pastry brush. So, and you just want to skim it across the top, because if you let it dribble off on the sides, the egg can like solidify the sides so it doesn't rise as much. We don't want that. Again, gluten-free, we want to make sure these rise as much as possible. So I'm just going to get this, brush it off on the side, and we're just going to paint the top. See, like so. This is probably the most informal and worst way to show how to do things, but it's how we're doing it. And you're just gonna do this for the rest of them. And then in the meantime, we have our oven preheating to 390. And let me check my notes, 390. And we're gonna put them in there for 15 minutes once we're done with this. And then we're gonna have scones, and we'll get there. All right, all of our scones are painted. I 8, 6, 14. I made 14 from here. Obviously, very different sizes. These are more the same size, so I'm gonna cook these together. These are about the same size. Again, we're not working in a restaurant. These are for you, so you can bake them and put butter and jelly on them and an egg if you'd like. I don't care, they're yours. So these are gonna go on one pan, they're about the same size. These are gonna go on another one. You don't wanna cook them together like this because they will rise, stick together, make a mess. Don't do that. Also, save your egg, cook it, eat it. Anyways, these are going in 390, 15 minutes. What's up, everybody? We did it. These are out of the oven. Look at these things. Bam! Little pockets of butter and layers. Look at those things. Look how beautiful those are. We did it. We made scones. Saved you $130. So if you ever see any classes that are kind of out of control, like take classes, take food classes, people put them together, but $130 for a scone, like, I don't know, this is gonna, before I edit it, it's gonna be like 4-minute video. Like, you don't need to be paying $130 for scones to learn how to make a freaking scone. But anyways, these things are delightful. They do have a little bit of sweetness to them because we did add the sugar, but you can get creative with your fillings and stuff like that. I do plan on making another one because there's like a different way to make scones. This is a recipe from the Paul Hollywood. So I hope you enjoy. Let me know if there's anything else you see, and I would love to make it for you because baking is fun, eating is fun, and that's all. I'm rambling, so get me out of here. Goodbye.